Thanks very much for joining us this Saturday afternoon. So why do you think webinars provide a solution to today's remote working conditions, lack of direct contact and difficulty in maintaining business continuity?
I think the biggest problem businesses are facing right now is that they cannot engage face-to-face with their customers nor their staff. And we know that human contact is something that really drives our ability to communicate. And webinars have allowed businesses to reach out to both their existing staff members and their resellers and extended network to engage with them face-to-face and to educate and to continue to build essential relationships to drive business.
So, as you're saying, webinars can be used to great effect by marketers in engaging both with their audiences and their customers and their staff in new and compelling ways. What are some of the benefits of selling in an environment that can be very disconnected for both the seller and the buyer?
Yeah, so that's a really good point. And I tell you, we're seeing our clients struggle with that to a very large degree. But I think when webinars are harnessed correctly, it can to a very large degree, replace face-to-face contact. And by that I mean, if the right form of communication tools are used, the right audio content, the right presentation, in other words, making sure that everyone is visible and seen, no one's hiding their faces, then we're still engaging with each other through a screen, seeing one another, and then using some of the sort of apps that are available in webinar platforms like polls and Q&As and raising of hands and those sorts of devices that really make the experience feel a lot or very similar to face-to-face human engagement.
So during the COVID-19 lockdown, we've seen buyers' needs or customers' needs changing quite drastically. Their buying patterns have changed because obviously their pocket has been influenced to a large degree. The kinds of products that they are looking at now, the kinds of services are also very different. So how can webinars help businesses gain insight into those changing needs?
Yeah, so webinars are wonderful tools to allow us to understand the engagement of the people that we talk to. We're able to record our webinar communications. We're able to record the questions that are asked and the way that people engage with us and go back and look at that interaction and understand the things that are important to customers or people, staff members that have attended webinars, and then to rephrase our future communication around that. And similarly for businesses that are offering products and services, webinars allow us to see where people that have attended our webinars have spent the most time engaging and asked the most questions, and where they perhaps haven't. Where they've asked the most questions, clearly there's a need and an interest, and it presents us with an opportunity then to market those products. Webinars, of course, also give us a wonderful opportunity to build a database and to market to our attendees post the webinar with video and additional email content.
So catching the attention of the customer can be quite a challenge, because not only are businesses having to find new ways to engage with their audience, but the buyer is also facing a challenge of having to find new ways of interacting with the purchasing world. So what are some of the key ways that you found to grab people's attention towards webinars?
So first of all, preparation. I think the biggest challenge that we're seeing both buyers and sellers experience at the moment is this land grab into the webinar space to replace face-to-face communication. But as we know, poor communication and poorly prepared communication results in people being bored and tuning out. And webinars is a space where if we don't engage our viewers effectively, they tune out very quickly, looking at their devices, muting, going and making a cup of coffee, and not really attending. So good preparation and well-prepared content is absolutely essential to an effective webinar.
Right, thank you very much. That was Gullan and Gullan Managing Director Michael Gullan speaking to us about the wonderful world of webinars.